Welcome back to another episode of Find the Line, presented by Against the Grain Design and Print, where we dive into real stories with real racers, the successes, the hardships, and everything in between, with your co-hosts Logan Cipala and Joe Falde. Produced by Luke Cipala, it all starts right here, right now, on Find the Line.
Yeah, and we can do anything. Mama said it's true, and I put that on everything. Mama told me one day I'ma blow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to sit where shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, cause they'll get you through this so-called life they call living, but I call it strange.
Woo! Oh, welcome back to Find the Line, where motorcycles and beer save lives. This week, we circle back with a former guest, well, part guest, I guess. This man's so busy, I have no idea how he keeps his crazy schedule up. He wears a lot of hats and has a lot of irons hot in the fire. Today, we're going to find out about some freaking sick racing in Europe, managing a pro team and racing himself, how. Also, family, keeping them happy, keeping the lights on at the business. Something tells me we're going to find out a few other new things about this man. Ladies and gentlemen, ChampionBrick Racing owner, manager, and rider, current, you heard me, I didn't stutter, current 40 plus A champion, the number 209. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matt Adams. Matt, how's it going?
Good, Joel, Logan, Luke, I'm stoked to be here. Thanks for having me. Can't wait to see where this conversation goes.
Dude, you killed it on the background. I mean, I don't know. The only one that might be better is Jamie Deere had a live, like a TV of Hillclimb videos behind him. It's tough for that, but we got the number one bike on your right shoulder, Tobin's on your left shoulder, looking sick with your background banners. Thank you. We appreciate that. Oh, yeah. Love that. That's so awesome. So
it's gonna be tough to beat.
I know it. We got to up our game, boys. Luke's sitting over there. He has to blur his out because he's got his printer rolling. I mean, we're looking a little scuffy here. But whereabouts in the world are we finding tonight, then, Matt?
I'm in my basement right now, which becomes the cold weather shop.
Okay.
Because we live in Wisconsin, and I've never gotten around to insulating my garage. So sitting in my
no.
basement. Sussex, Wisconsin.
Nice. Okay, so you're kind of right in the middle of Wisconsin, aren't you? Sussex?
Southeast.
We're basically, southeast? Okay.
Yeah, northwest suburb of Milwaukee. You know, when I'm traveling around the country, I just say Milwaukee, but
okay, all right,
where
cool.
Milwaukee turns into the country, but yeah.
Okay, nice.
Southeast corner.
I don't know why, but I thought you were over like middle, like Racine, or not Racine, but Tomahawk, like that area for some reason. I was way off. You are close to Sunburst then, to that hill climb, because we were talking a little bit and I couldn't make it this year to the, who's the club, Logan? I always forget that puts it on.
Kettle Marine
in Kewaskum. Man, you got to be close to there then.
45 minutes.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, you got to make it over there.
I've been to it to spectate when I think either my wife was pregnant or we had just had my daughter, and we went there because it's always a Father's Day event. And I had just gotten my first dirt bike, or I had it for a year or two, and I didn't know how to put a tether on, and I thought about maybe doing it, I was just thinking about it because I had done some snowmobile hill climbing and whatnot, and I'm like, no, I'm just going to go out and hang out with my wife or fiance or whatever she was at the time, and I'm like, not going to deal with it. And the whole time I was there, I was so mad I didn't bring my bike.
I know. We should talk to the boys there because they might want to think about axing the kill switch on the stock bikes, because it would be kind of helpful if people didn't have to put one on, because I think it would encourage a few more people though, because it does kind of suck to put one on. And usually I just tell people, put one on and just black tape the wires onto the handlebars, but they actually check them there.
I see.
They have tech inspection there, so it would actually need to be functional, So
and then on top of it, KTM has made it double hard because they put the start and stop buttons into the one button.
Yeah.
Now, so it's extra fun.
No, you end up just deleting those half the time when you're running a hill climb bike. But
at one point, at least in Motoclimb, you don't even have to on a stock bike. But I don't know if that rule has made it over into the more amateur level or not. It's all technically under somewhat of the same rule book. But
right, we'll work on it for you, Matt. We want to get you hill climbing.
I'd love to. I've done it, just not on a dirt bike. But yeah, no, I think I'm nervous to try it because I think I'd be addicted, and I don't have time.
It's gnarly and it's dirt bikes. Of course you're going to be addicted. That's how it goes, right?
High horsepower. I mean, nitromethane race gas, like studding tires, all these super custom setups. Like that's what doing that in snowmobiles and what brought me down this whole path. So yeah, I know what'll happen if I get in that world,
If you're like me, Matt, I can only afford one crazy expensive hobby. That's why people are like, oh, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Nope, I have one. I don't need another. I don't need to completely bankrupt myself, right? But dude, last year we were talking with Tobin and he was at your house and we got to talk to you a little bit. And we were so stoked last year just to hear from Tobin and you guys just what you had on the docket from Championship Brick Racing and following along. Your schedule is, I mean, do you even write it down? Because it's got to be so freaking gnarly. I mean, is it just basically every Tuesday I'm washing bikes and every Wednesday I'm loading to go racing? Is that kind of how it goes?
Yeah, I wish I would have known you were going to ask me that question because I would have showed you how I keep track of all of this. And it's just your 8.5 by 11, each page is a month and write it down. Like I just got my 2026 calendar and I went through and I've seen some preliminary US hard-enduro stuff and you write it down there. But yeah, the amount of repetition of like Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, like it's over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's great. You need a friend like the machine there, Logan, because what he does for me and all his friends is about January 14th, middle of January, he's got somewhat of the schedule figured out. And he sends us his Excel spreadsheet of all the races that he's going to. And then I can just quick go through and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I want to do this. He's got them all laid out, the weekends, the dates, everything. Saves me probably, 6 hours of just trying to go. And I don't have the Facebook. So it's really handy. Thanks, Tom, for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah. There's a price increase for 2026, but
dang it.
I have numerous friends with the spreadsheets, but none of them work exactly to what I need. And I hear you. That's the one thing with it's weird to me, or it's interesting to me how if it wasn't for racing, I think I could leave Facebook right now. But it is the place. It's the place to get the schedules more consistently than anywhere else. I don't know why that is, if it's the algorithm or whatnot, but man, I wish like Instagram or something else, or there was a different app that we could all use to keep track of these schedules that wasn't Facebook, but it just kind of is what it is.
Just too easy and convenient.
Yeah. The events, like their events format is the best way, in my opinion, to at least get at people,
Yeah.
But,
Matt, I have like an addictive personality, and like I had a pinch of Copenhagen when I was like 14, and it took me like 25 years to stop using Copenhagen. It's like I watched Instagram for one weekend, and like every day I have to tell myself, quit it, stop going on Instagram. I have a Facebook page, and luckily I haven't refreshed it in like 15 years because I don't even want to go down that road as well. I got no extra time.
But you're on Instagram.
I'm on Instagram too much, way too much. But then I got to bother Logan because certain series only put stuff out on Facebook. So I got to ask him to go troll for me. So
and then good luck finding their sign up link if you're not on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's like hidden in the dark web or some shit.
Yeah. Or if you're over 32 years old and can't say Chipotle or can't figure out how to do online signups, drives me nuts. That's going to be my caught in the chain, boys. That's going to be it right there.
I just came up with a caught in the chain too.
But we were talking, you have so many spots that you go to, and obviously you're traveling so much, but in your series, the hard enduro life that you live, what is kind of the start point of the year? Or, I mean, is it 12 months a year, or how is there like because like Hillclimb May, we kind of start kicking her off in May, and then we'll go to October or whatever. Would you say that's typical, Logan? Yeah. And so, but like with hard enduro, how about you guys? What kind of months are you riding, or does it just go all year?
So, complicated question, but I don't think a lot of people even necessarily fully understand that aren't involved intimately in the sport how the current landscape looks with U.S. hard enduro. So there's the West Coast Regional Championship, there's the East Coast Regional Championship, and then there's the Premier Rounds, which is a combination of some of both of those.
Right.
But if you want to race the Premier class, that starts typically end of January.
Okay.
And that finishes up at Tennessee Knockout, which is end of August, which that gets your factory hard enduro riders done with their premier round contracts, because they then move on to typically enduro cross, which fires up early October.
Wow. Okay.
But there's a West Coast U.S. Hard Enduro Championship, and then there's also an East Coast. They're both regionals. So that's something that Tobin did. Like, that's what my team's goals were focused on for 2024 was East Coast Regional, because was achievable for us in 2025. It's east of the Mississippi.
All right.
That goes from end of April until Memorial Day, then a break until August, and then 3 or 4 rounds bang out 2 weeks apart in the fall. So if you pick your path and you focus on one specific thing, West Coast or East Coast or Premier, that makes it a much shorter season.
Right.
But if you want to chase West Coast and East Coast or Premier and East or whatever, it basically turns it into a 10-month thing. So.
Right. So, and then what I'm hearing is those Premier rounds, there's a mixture of West and East in those Premier rounds. Is that kind of how it works?
Yes, but it's essentially the Premier rounds, and the Premier round results are what the factories, not the factories, but the teams, not the ChampionBricks, but the team teams, contract teams, one step beyond me in terms of accountability and all of that stuff. I haven't made it to there yet, but the Premier rounds are the Premier is that's what the factory, if you got Fantic or Yamaha or KTM or Husqvarna or Gas, not that they're doing it anymore, or Sherco, but if you have what I would call like the big players and they come in and they support a rider, they really only care about Premier points.
But the Premier rounds, they're not standalone events. They're part of the West or East, right?
Correct. Every single round in the Premier round is either a East Coast or a West Coast round.
Man, this is kind of really weird because Logan had came up with, and other people, an idea for that, we could have an actual professional championship series for what we do, American Hillclimb National Championship Series. And he had, had kind of it mapped out. And when we were talking about it, this really brilliant co-host came up with the idea of just picking one event from each of the already existing professional series. And that kind of sounds like what the Premier rounds have done in hard enduro is you have the East and West, and they've taken their marquee events and made those the Premier rounds. Am I off basis there?
It's hard to say. It's all pretty complicated.
Okay. All right.
In my opinion,
yeah.
I think that there's a lot of prestige in a regional championship, whether it's West Coast or East Coast, but the majority, and don't quote me on these exact numbers, but if there's, let's say last year, there might've been, 14 U.S. hard enduro rounds. There's only 1 or 2, more of the rounds are Premier rounds than are just regional. If you follow, like if there's, let's just say there's 14 races, 10 of them are Premier. So that's just like there's there's way more Premier rounds on each coast than there are regionals. Regionals, sometimes it's like, it's a first time promoter, or it's just something about that race where it's not a part of the Premier round, or where it can fall on the schedule, because they really seem, and I don't know this, Matt Musgrove could tell you more, but it seems like they really have to they got to kind of pull off with the factory riders, the KTM family factory riders. As soon as enduro cross season rolls around, like they're not showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it kind of seems cool though, because it gives some flexibility to get new promoters in, because they don't have to have the stress of becoming a premier round immediately, but they have something to look up to, you know. And I kind of like how there is a regional series, because travel is really expensive, you know, and when you're at the level that we are, we have jobs, you know, like we have Monday through Friday, we got to make some freaking dough. And if you're going from, you know, Maine to California and then, you know, all over, it's a lot. But if you're just going, you know, east of the Mississippi, west of the Mississippi, you just knocked off 1,200 miles of driving at least, right? So, I mean, it makes a huge difference with the logistics of it. So, and then your sport, Matt, is just exploding, right? I mean, it's like, I just can't believe how much. I mean, we have a hard enduro loop just a few miles from us at Meadow now, right, Logan?
Yep.
I mean, that's awesome. You know, I mean, this is so cool that it's just growing and growing.
I mean, and they're, I would assume they want me to say this right now, but they're having a race next year. I don't know if it's going to be part of a series or not, but
awesome.
I know they want me to say that. I mean, it's a thing. I haven't been there yet, and I'm kind of bummed that I haven't. I just haven't had time to, but it's pretty cool. They have a really good Facebook page, and they're starting to get some good socials out there, but it's there's a bunch of miles, and it seems really well marked, really well organized, like different than, they want people to come there and ride these loops. So
Yep.
Midwest guys, people that are listening to this, like that seems like a place that I would check out for sure. You know, I'm interested to see where that all goes.
Whoever did the socials when Logan was reading it to us, how they said it on there, but I feel like they have exactly like summed up what the people that are crazy about your sport want to hear. Because didn't they warn people, Logan, not to do the pro loop or something?
Yeah, it was like, there was like a big warning on there, and it was like, if you get stuck, call.
Yeah, we're not coming to help you.
Yeah, it was something like, we'll leave your bike and walk out and we'll rescue it in a few days or something. It was pretty funny. I read it.
When you read it, I was like, yes, that's going to get people there, because they're like, oh yeah, I'll do this loop. Watch it. It's like, you could just see like what they're trying to charge people up with. I loved it.
Yeah. My plan is to get there as soon as I can. I'm hoping if it's open this weekend, maybe, but we'll see.
Cool. Awesome.
Well, it sounds like they have pro lines already cut in. I mean, I think they have the course almost built for next year. So they have blue arrow stuff, red arrow stuff. And it was interesting. I saw a post last week where it was like, they're getting a bunch of traffic on the first two sections because the second blue section is like the hardest out of all of them. So everyone's doing the first one and the second one, and they're just like, people trying it and they're like, I'm out, you know. But I guess everyone after that gets easier, but they're just quitting after the second one, you know.
That's cool. Well, I love that. I hope they get a bunch of action. I hope that increases Meadows' use by riders, and everybody wins, right? That's what we want. So this year on your team, Matt, who were your riders on ChampionBrick Racing?
I have to refer to my list. There's a lot. Well, so really at the start of the season, because things evolved and things changed, but starting off, it was me and Tobin, and along the way I ended up talking to John Krall. He's from Gallipolis, Ohio. Tucker Miller, Tobin's brother.
Okay.
And that was really our 4-person, I would call that like the East Coast US Hard Enduro team.
Okay, cool.
At the start of the year, though, there was also, we have D16 stuff. I know Logan does. You guys know about that. You're around here, but
of course.
So 2 of my good friends, Corey Bradshaw and Matt Moss, they have kids that race, and we kind of all got into this at the same time. So I was also helping Corey Bradshaw, his son CJ, who was racing D16 off-road 65s. He ended up winning the overall off-road championship, I believe.
Woohoo! Awesome.
Yeah, Matt Moss, which is Alexis Burbach and Garrett Moss's dad. He raced a bunch of 40B stuff. I think he got 4th. Cool. Alexis got 3rd in 85s against the boys. Garrett got 4th. But yeah, they chased they chased D16 Harescramble. Some of them did the whole series. So you have kind of the D16 local people, and you have those 4. And then throughout the year, the team just kind of organically grew. I mean, a lot of them are my friends, but like I consider Mike Manuel a part of my team. He's got a Husqvarna, but it looks it's got our graphics. It's got all the parts. We all use the same stuff. Nick Wortham, I met him in Romaniacs in 2023 when I went there, and we just became really good friends, and he kind of saw the cool thing going on and he wanted to be a part of it. And it's like,
Cool.
yeah, you know, he helps me, I help him. It all just works out. And ended up meeting Billy Robertson along the way. Then, you know, I ended up meeting, you know, he's from Utah, met him a couple winters ago, just out in Utah, hanging out with my buddy Miles when we were just hanging out before.
Right.
Yeah. Moab 2024. Ended up, you know, now we have Makana Barger from Hawaii on the team. He just won A-class.
Awesome.
East Coast and not Premier, but East Coast. So
cool. Dang.
Then my buddy Chris Crane, you know, he's I don't really have to do anything. He's self-sufficient, but he has a race bike that looks exactly like everybody else's. He's a part of the team, and he's from Arkansas, and he's just a cool dude. So that's awesome. And then there's some local people that ChampionBrick actually sponsors to a little bit of a level. You know, we have Braxton Jacobson and whatnot. So it's, you know, there's kind of like different levels to the team, but yeah, there's the East Coast stuff, there's the local stuff, and there's going to be changes to what people want to do or not do for next year. But
great.
You got a really cool paddock to be around.
Sounds like a more of a family than a team.
Yeah. Yeah, really. it is. I mean,
that's cool.
Yeah.
So question here. So when because I'm just, you know, I respect the hell out of what you guys do, because it's insane watching some of the shit that you guys ask a dirt bike to do, and it does it, right? I mean, it's just so cool to watch it. But the other thing is just talking with Logan, and I am not a fabricator. I'm not a mechanic. I can change oil, air filters, like the best of them, but that's about it, right? But you guys make these bikes so tough. And I, you know, like talking with Logan, like how you guys will change like geometry of some parts so that when they bend, they don't break. And there's just how you reinforce the bikes to hold getting tossed and all this stuff. When you're meeting these other people that have experience, is it kind of like an old fisherman thing where you guys got to go through and try to tell somebody a trick that you do that maybe somebody else doesn't do, just to kind of add a little sauce to the soup? Or how does that work? Or are they guarded secrets, you know?
No, honestly, I think there's generally a misconception that it takes more than it does.
Okay.
I think that protection parts are important, but I think that hard enduro gets an unfair misconception that it destroys your bikes. It doesn't. It destroys plastics, it destroys pipes, but it doesn't destroy the bike. I mean, you can destroy a bike if you treat the bike like a destroyer, but
right.
I was this bike right here.
Did you take Tobin's name out of your mouth when you were?
No. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what we could make his 300-hour practice bike look like with a new pipe and a set of plastics.
Dang, that's impressive. That's a lot of hours for any bike. 300 hours. That's cool.
But there is a lot that goes into it, but it's not as bad as people think. It's not a death sentence for your bike, but it's like a hill climb bike. It's the same. How far do you want to take it? You know what I mean? Like there's obviously there's bare necessities, and riders can make up for, you know what I mean? You can put a really good rider on a bike with bare necessities, and that can make up for like a lesser rider on a fancier bike. But so, ideally, I mean, do you want to start considering weight? Like what, you know, like how much are you going to care about the bike? And I'm just always been intrigued with modifying things. So do we go too far with our bikes? Maybe in some small ways, but
So here's a question. So, you know, like, and I don't know anything about, I know a little bit about everything and not a lot about anything, you know, but I just remembered seeing when I was younger, and if you were going to be like an A-class moto guy and you were going to go hard at it, you would buy 2 brand new bikes in the spring. You would have a race bike, a play bike, suspension on both, and probably you're going to get one more bike mid-season. And that was pretty typical for most real adventurous moto guys. And I think maybe now it's even more, right? And Hillclimb, let's say if you're going to buy a race, like a pro level bike for the 700 open or 450, you're going to buy it. you're probably going to put, like on a 450, you're probably going to put like $8,000 to $10,000 into it. But then you're probably going to race that bike for probably 6 or 7 years, a 450. An open bike, maybe 12 or 15. Like that's how long we can ride them. But for you guys, do you buy one race bike for a whole season? Are you racing multiple seasons? Are you racing multiple bikes? Or what's kind of typical for ChampionBrick Racing?
Oh man, I mean, I think you can get a lot of time out of a bike if you maintain them properly, but most people don't. So, I mean, if you're doing good grease intervals and you're keeping your suspension rebuilt and you're doing top ends every 50, 60 hours on a race bike, I mean, they'll go a really long time. I mean, there's top level riders. I don't want to call them out because of but there's East Coast champions that are at times racing two strokes that might have 500 hours on the chassis. Maybe there's a frame here and there thrown in, but
right.
If you stay on top of them with parts, it's not that bad. So no, like I don't have, I mean, a lot of the team's bikes are essentially just my old race bikes. I mean, Tucker Miller's on a 2020 XC that I bought brand new that
sweet.
I rode for as my Harescramble bike, and John Krall's 2023 XCW was my race bike for a season and a half before I built this one 2 winters ago, which was a direct replica of that one because that was going to be my race bike, and then I was going to have a practice bike, but then I had these health issues, so that plan never really worked. So that's like a 0-hour bike right there. But I don't know. I think you just got to keep on top of them. You got to keep a cycle. But yes, when it comes down to like our team's main focus, like our stated focus or what started this all off, which was essentially supporting Tobin to see how far he could go in that. Yes, I do think it's important to have a race only bike, this one, but it's still, it's got 50 hours on it because there's times along the way where you have to test or he'll want to film something or he'll get his hands on it for a weekend and, all of a sudden he's got 8 hours on it, but
But I mean, he did a whole season on that, right? He's not buying 4 bikes to go race one season. He had one race bike all season, right? That's amazing. That's awesome.
One practice bike and one race bike. Yeah. And his basically, I mean, I think that with the way that this season went, it's not how it's going to work because next year's getting more complicated with bigger schedules and whatnot. But if we just replicated this year again for next year, I think that I would sell his practice bike. That would become his practice bike, and we'd build another race bike. And it was just
that's awesome.
Year after year swap. It doesn't work out it never works out the way for me, it's it's too hard to do that stuff and whatnot.
But that's a totally acceptable way of racing, I think. I mean, what we're doing.
Most people have one. Most people have one hard enduro bike.
Right. And I mean, I think that's awesome because it is a professional sport. We're racing professional hill climb. It's like you're trying to win money, you're trying to get sponsors, but to be able to just do that on one ship or one bike and not to have to go out every year and go 20 grand just for 3 base models to start. That's awesome. I mean, that makes a world of difference, And
I think you can build a 90% there. You can't pull a full, I mean, a ChampionBrick race bike, they're next level. We had essentially no mechanical failures this whole season on a lot of bikes in the four. There were 2 failures. They both happened at the same race. I ripped out 6 spokes. John Krall snapped a chain, but it's not like what he was doing. Like he mechanically snapped the chain. Like he was hitting it on a rock really hard, and I ripped spokes out. Like I don't consider that a mechanical failure, but it's still a mechanical DNF. But our stuff lasts now. Is that necessary for everybody? No, but I think a stock bike plus, Logan knows, he's built them a little bit. A stock bike plus $3 grand in parts, and you're cooking, man. Like it's not going to be the best. You're not going to have A-kit suspension, but it's going to be good enough that the bike isn't the problem.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I just started out, bought the main protective parts, and then learned the hard way at each race I went to what I needed more and more. I did the first one, learned a whole bunch, did the second one, and James Flynn's dad was telling me that I got the wrong chain guide on my bike because it had an aluminum core instead of a plastic core, so it would bend and then knock my master clips off. And you just learn like bit by bit, and a lot of it's not even expensive parts; they're just different ones that can't take the abuse as well, or like where the OEM ones can't. I mean, so it's not for me, but I'm also not building like a pro level bike. It's just enough to keep my bike safe when I run out of talent for the most part.
And you know, thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that info with us, so Matt. Because I mean, I think your sport's blowing up, and it's intimidating for people that want to do it. And it's nice to know, like, hey, I don't got to go out and put $15,000 into a brand new bike and extras. I can go out and get
it doesn't need to be this.
Right. But I mean, still, that's obtainable for a lot of riders. I mean, you're under the price of what someone's going to buy a side by side and go from bar to bar, and you're going to have way more fun on one of those things behind you, right?
Matt, you'll get a kick out of this. Joel rode 2 or 3 of my hard enduro sections, and it was within 10 or 12.
So mad.
Within 10 or 12 minutes, he suffered a power valve puncture on his TPI, so we had to do a replacement hose on that very, very early in.
Did he actually power valve puncture it, or did he just like put his knife in there because he was sick of it?
I didn't see it, so I can't.
I plead the fifth.
If he did that, it was pretty damn impressive how he hit it.
Well, that's one of the reasons.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about that on here before. You got to turn them up, man.
Yeah,
turn those spigots up.
Yeah, I just put an extra thick cover on mine because I didn't pop for the expensive radiator mod yet, but it's survived so far.
I don't know what you guys call it, but that was an instance of Plinko for me. There was like this big rock we were trying to lift over, and like I lifted and my weight went a little right. I hit a tree, I overcorrected, bam, radiator delete right there. It was just all happened so fast. Yeah. I just watching some of that stuff, the rocks and all that. Oh man, I'm not good with that stuff. It's not for me. I don't fall right.
It's amazing the hits that they'll take, and then it's amazing the little things that'll do big damages. Like
exactly,
it's unpredictable, and that's why, like I said, you can spend a couple grand, on some basic protection stuff, but it comes down to that. At least to me, when you get heavily invested in the sport and the travel and all of that stuff and the point series and all, you get wrapped up in it, and it becomes this kind of obsession of like, anything that can fail will. So you just start going through everything with you start safety wire and stuff, and it's just like, where do you stop? I can't stop. I go, I just
laugh all the time, because like when I was just out of high school, had my little Nissan 2-wheel drive pickup, hell, I'd throw my bike in a gas can. I might not even bring a toolbox with, right? I'd just go
no problem.
Now, hell, I ain't leaving this house without an extra tube, toolbox, air compressor. There's like an absolute minimum. And when I go to race, I got boxes of parts, because there was that day where I couldn't race because I needed this O-ring, or I needed another fuel, something or other. So I got that sumbitch. That's where experience, it like kills you sometimes, because you just can't make anything easy. Everything's got to be difficult, but you don't want your day ruined because it means that much to you, right?
Yeah, it's better to need, it's better to have and not need than need and not have. And there's always everybody else in the paddock that needs the stuff that.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's been interesting how that's kind of what I've, in a weird way, become, is like, I'm the freaking KTM parts division of the US East Coast,
Right. People are buying the same thing you have just so they know they got spares, right?
No, they just know they just assume I'm going to have them.
Right. What's the weirdest part that like somebody's destroyed in an event? Like, has anybody ever like, took a stick through a reed box or something, where you're like, I didn't even know that was possible. Is there some like where I'm trying to think of, like where a stick went through like the tank and like took out the fuel pump or something. There's got to be all kinds of weird stuff.
I haven't been involved in any super outlier. I'm trying to think. No.
Okay. Well, that's good.
No.
All right. Good.
I've got one, not
All
at a
right.
race, but the weirdest thing I've ever done and all I did was tip over, but I think it must have been weakened from all the other stupid stuff. But I was riding my 300 last fall and tipped over like down a little rock ledge, and it broke the fuel pickup off of the fuel pump that was inside my tank. So my bike just like ran out of gas and then wouldn't start again. And I couldn't figure it out. So I just kept like looking through the fuel system and pulled the pump out, and like the little hose barb going on the fuel pickup had busted off of it.
That's crazy. The thing I would have said. I remembered Mike Manuel back at like Tough Like Roar, but yeah, that's that. I would say that's probably, and I don't think anything really causes it. It's just a big crash or vibration or whatever. But the most unusual thing I've seen fixed at a race is that where you end up pulling out the Molly fuel filter out of the tank and it's snapped off the tank.
It was like the weirdest. It's crazy how something inside the tank, you would think that'd be pretty safe, but it's just not at all, apparently.
But then there's $350 kits you can buy to, eliminate that point of failure. And that's like, I haven't gone down that road yet. Like I haven't had a failure, but there's, there's something. If there's anything on your bike that you're worried about, there is a company with a product to solve that for you in the US hard-enduro. I guarantee it. So you have to kind of weed your way through that. And I try and I've tried to get better at that in the last year or two. I think meeting Petro, my buddy, that he's like suspension guy from Europe, and he's kind of helped me learn to focus more on just being smart with not just doing it, do it sort of thing.
Right.
Which is hard for me to, calculated, which tell me if these are calculated
that's tough
or
for
not.
Every racer. We all have that tiger blood in us when we're out there, right? You want to just go. It's tough. Talk on racing though. Do you know offhand how many events you personally were at this year, roughly?
I don't. I should know that, but I don't know that.
I mean, are we north of
20?
Really? Damn. That's machine
count them
level.
Up if I had my calendar. I mean, it'd be bang bang. But yeah, probably right. 15 for sure. I mean, what do you count Romaniacs as? I mean, that's a 4-day.
Yeah, that might be a 5 times multiplier right there. I don't know, but
I gotta be in the 15 to 20 range for sure.
Damn, there's only 25 weekends in the summer. I mean, that's wild. That's impressive. That's really cool. Well, hey boys, I'll tell you what. Why don't we let Matt think about some of those races? And let's touch in. Matt, have you ever heard of Against the Grain Design? Have you ever heard of that company before? Yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm intrigued.
I'm intrigued.
We got to pay this sponsorship off because they're bossy. I mean, they want their name out there. We got to play these commercials.
It almost sounds too good to be true.
We'll talk a little green room action, but let's hear from ATG Design. And when we are back, we're going to talk Romaniacs. We got to talk about family, and there's a whole bunch more. So hang on, folks. We're right back.
Against the Grain Design and Print is proud to announce its partnership with Find the Line. Against the Grain works with clients to build their business and racing goals through the design and production of premium stickers and decals. We offer one-of-a-kind subscriptions for a flat monthly fee that can save you hundreds of dollars. Custom mailers, white label printing, motocross graphics, and anything else you can think of, we have you covered. It's time to print your passion. Visit atgdesign.co or email sales@atgdesign.co.
Hey there, Find the Line listeners. We will always be looking for partnerships for Find the Line. Please email findthelinepod@gmail.com to see how we can work together to grow your brand. Once again, that's findthelinepod@gmail.com. Now, let's get back to it.
Oh yeah. Oh man. You know when you got the HEG Design, you are just a fast SOB. We got to get those. I got to get that on ChampionBrick Racing, I think. But Matt, just looking at your Insta, I've been looking at your personal site, the Wisco Enduro on Instagram, and really cool. Right away, I popped up, and your interview with Max Gersten. It was really neat hearing your point of view, and you guys kind of touched on it, but the start of your team, can you kind of let people into kind of how you became to being a team president and manager, and kind of how that all started?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of came up as an idea that I had probably 3 or 4 years ago. We just kind of talked about, I met Will Check and a few other talented riders and kind of dabbled a little bit with helping them, and ended up going to we're going to kind of skip ahead here, but went to Romaniacs in 2022, finished that. And that kind of inspired me to figure out a way to get more involved with the sport. And it just kind of got me thinking about that whole helping other riders and whatnot. And it took a while to find the right fit, or not the right fit, but the right situation, because it needed a lot of things to kind of work in my favor at the time.
I loved it when you were talking with Max and you were saying, like, I was on the plane back. Yeah. And you just wanted to give that experience to more people. And I'm like, hell freaking yeah. I mean, if that's not dirt bikes wrapped up in a statement, there's nobody that's been involved at a high level at dirt bikes that doesn't want to give that to somebody else, whether it's flat track, trials, motocross, hillclimb, hard enduro. Like, once you've got that ultimate bite, you want more people to have it, don't you?
Yeah, and I think that's essentially, I haven't even thought about it that way. You kind of opened up my eyes to that right now with that thought, but it's like, that's essentially what this team has been formed around in a way. Is I've created the team to give opportunity, not to me personally, but to allow me to spread it across more people, make these assets go further, not assets go further, but to just share it with more people to make my budget go further or whatever. And like, we really have. It's I lose grasp of it at times, or it's hard to understand when you're doing it yourself. I always relate it to my dad would always say, it's like, when you own a business, like we have a retail showroom, wouldn't you love to be able to walk in that showroom and like see it like a first time cut? But when it's your when it's your deal, you don't really get, you get so just like not numb to it, but it just is, it is what it is, you know? But it's been really cool. But yeah, it just, at some points, some of those experiences, it just got to where I wanted to share it with other people.
It's awesome.
And then when I was worried that it was getting taken away from me, I still wanted to continue to be a part of it. And it just kind of, everything all just kind of came together, and man, has it blown up in the last year and a half.
And we'll touch back and forth on a few different things. When you were saying that taken away, and dude, like, I can't even, to put everything else aside, your health issues, like that alone would be something that would monetize every person's 100% of their attention. And I cannot believe that you've managed to take your health, what you've had to deal with, and still live your dream and help other people live their dream. Can you kind of tell people what happened to you like a year and a half ago and what you've been kind of going through? Cause it's freaking wild. Like, it's crazy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like, I did these couple Romaniacs, and in 2023, I went and I took two of my really good friends, took my wife, two of my good friends, Mike Manuel, Zach Rappa, and then he made her his fiance on that trip. And
wow,
I actually went and I failed that year. I had 2 time bars, did DNF, Mike Manuel failed 2, Zach finished, but he kind of quit on the 4th day. It was just they got engaged. It was a really good trip, but like, I had finished the year before 3 of the 4 days. So like finisher, but as my mechanics would say, like finisher, but like not real finisher. But then I went back. I went back.
Total European thing that they can't give you any credit, right?
No. Yeah, so, right. Got my medal, but like, no, you're not. You're finisher, but you're not real finisher, whatever. So I figured I was going back in 2023 to cross that off my list, and I kind of did, but 2023 was a really interesting year because I got kind of like frustrated with my support team, even though it wasn't necessarily their fault. So we were hanging out one night in Sibiu, Romania. I'm get to talking smart about it. Oh, I could do this better. I could make my own race team. I was just all mad, drinking beers, crying in my beer, coming up with plans. And I had met my buddy Shardul from India. This was Pahadi racing. Like, that's a whole nother topic we don't even have time for. But so we made this plan. Like, we're going back in 2024.
Right.
And Shardul's going to get like all these sponsors from India, and we're going to make this team, Pahadi Racing. And like, I went hard down on that for 6, 8, 9, whatever months. And kind of when I started running riders through, it was almost like half-ass interviews for, we were going to take back a silver rider to RedBull Romaniacs in 2024. Wow. Like, that's what we were all going to go back. The 4 of us were going to select like a silver rider from the US, take them, run them on this Bahati Racing team. And it never worked out, but it was kind of like a failed test run that let me learn my way through this whole, how do you make it work?
Right.
Sort of thing.
Yep.
And then whatever, still taking that all serious, moving forwards, spent all winter 2024 into 2023 into 2024, kind of preparing for Romaniacs. I knew I was going back. I didn't know if anybody else was, but I was registered and whatnot. And all of a sudden, it's like March 9th, sitting in the basement right here in this exact stool, race bikes, working on them, building that bike and maintaining the other one, just making a practice bike and a race bike to prepare to go back to Romaniacs 2024 and finally get my real finish,
Right.
Race US hard enduro, all that stuff. But like, that was a big thing I wanted to check off. Like, I wanted to do 4 days, no time bar, bronze class Romaniacs. And
yeah,
all of a sudden one night, March 9th, normal day, is like Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't know, came home from work, 2.6 mile run, workout, eat dinner with the family, come downstairs, drink some beers, work on bikes, and feel a little bit of an upset stomach, go on the toilet, go to the bathroom, look in the toilet and bad things, and went to the emergency room. And a couple days later, I'm diagnosed as stage 4 colon cancer, metastasized to liver.
Holy shit.
Here we go, boys.
Man. And you had no pain or anything before that?
No,
wow,
there was no.
Damn.
I wish there would have been, honestly, because they told me when I got diagnosed that they think I might have had the colon part of it for 2 years, which means I raced my first 2 Romaniacs, maybe, like, with that going on.
Wow.
I shouldn't say nothing. A few things looking back, like I could have maybe said, like, I felt a little bit more tired or something like that. But at the same time, I'm turning 40. So it's like, you got that whole, like, I'm getting older. Like, do I have low testosterone? Like, who knows? Right. It's like, it's hard to, I think, like, when you start getting to that 40 range, I know that's not old, but it's like, that's where you always hear that I started to notice just like not being able to see as good in the dark and all that stuff. So it's like, but no, there was no, like, I didn't have abdominal pain or nothing, no, I don't think I felt anything that anybody, like, I don't think that I was ignoring something that I should have gone to the doctor for. And I was having to go to race RedBull Romaniacs. Like, when it was an FIM round, like, you had to get full medical checkups to get an FIM international race license. So I was doing the annual stuff. I mean, I actually thought I had, I thought I had like testicular. I thought I felt like a lump down there one time. And when I probably had a different form of cancer, and I went in and they did blood tests and all that. And they told me, oh no, man, you're good to go. So it's like,
oh shit. Damn. Holy crap. Wow.
Anyways. Yeah. Like, it was a whirlwind. It was just like a whirlwind. Like, there was no plan yet. Even like, I hadn't made an agreement with Tobin for 2024 or any of that yet. He had raced my bike a few times at the end of 2023 and like East Coast hard enduro stuff, just because I did kind of have that whole idea, and my wife did too at the time, just like supporting somebody.
Right.
Wow. But he was working at the ski hill and all of that stuff, and pretty much ended up working out to some point pretty soon after I got the whole diagnosis. I think I just ended up calling him on the phone and be like, so remember when we talked about that all, like, are we going racing or not, or what, and he said, yeah. And he lived an hour away at the time, and I knew I would have needed his help because there was uncertainty just of like, I didn't know what I was going to be able to do or not do, or how it was going to all work out. And I'm still kind of back to that same position now for 2026, but I think it can get figured out,
So did you have operation? Did they remove things or what was the procedure when you went through it then? Obviously, was it chemo?
Yeah,
And
so
what
March,
all
so I
happened?
got, let's say I got diagnosed at about March 9th. I bet chemo started maybe middle of April, and I did 6 rounds of chemo, which were typically 2 weeks apart.
Okay.
So I had my first major surgery 1 weekend before Tennessee knockout. So, which is a great story. I still went to Tennessee knockout. You know?
Oh, geez. Oh, man.
That's too long of a story. But anyways, so I had a full midline incision, you know, like ear to ear, wide open.
Jeez.
They
Holy
did
crap.
they did a colon resection, and they removed 4 tumors from the left lobe of my liver, which is the smaller half. Sewed me back up. A couple weeks later, I did a portal vein embolization, which is they basically blocked the blood flow to the larger side of my liver so that it causes the side they just fixed to begin to expand. It doesn't grow new. It just expands what it has, which gets that side large enough. Once that side becomes 40% of the volume and it can sustain your life, they then cut me open again and took the bad chunk out and put it in the garbage can.
Damn.
That's
Holy
nuts.
crap. Wow.
Sewed me back up. I had some internal bleeding 4 days later, so they had to full midline incision me for a third time, which wasn't planned, which that was the worst.
Oh,
Dude, that was
Jesus.
the worst of the whole
Wow.
thing. But yeah.
Man. Oh, not
But
fun.
anyways, you know, got out of the hospital a couple days before the Mad Moose, which was like, you know, East Coast round. I only missed 1 East Coast round that year, and it wasn't because of my health. I had to go to a wedding.
Wow.
Damn
Wow.
weddings.
You really like those people.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
But then I
Wow.
did 6 more rounds of chemo that finished up right before King of the Motos 2025. And like I didn't race King of the Motos, but I flew out there and stayed with Billy Robertson, just as like, he had a practice bike I rode around. I was just out there to be out there, you know?
Right.
Mhm.
Yep.
I raced at, I saw Logan at the Enduro Cross. That was kind of like the first real racing. I didn't really race it, but
Right.
I was still feeling the incision then. But once Battle of the Goats rolled around in end of April, I wasn't 100%, but I felt like I was getting really close to like pre-cancer Matt about when I got a bad scan result this September, which is a bummer, but it is what it is.
Dang it. Oh, man. I mean, now you is it every 6 months that you have to go in and get checked up to make sure everything's still good, or how does that work? Every 3.
Every
Okay.
3.
All right.
So really what happened for 2025, which I feel pretty lucky about, is I had a little bit of a recurrence like back in, I don't even remember, February, and I had those 5 rounds of radiation. But right about Battle of the Goats, like East Coast, start of the season, I got cleared. Like I had 3.5 months between scans. That was all the East Coast rounds that cleared, you know, Romaniacs. Like I lived a normal like May through April, May, June, July, August.
Nice.
Until Corduroy Enduro. On my way home from the Corduroy Enduro is when I finally broke down and looked at the scan results that had been on my chart for like a week that I didn't want to look at because I hadn't gone to see him, but like, you know, all your results are published. And I finally sent it to my friend Ash, and he read it and is like, yeah, he's like, oh, it's not that bad. You have like 4 new lesions. I'm like, yeah, that's not good either. But
Right. No.
so then since then, it's been kind of back into the making the best out of it sort of
But,
thing,
I mean,
versus like,
you can't run away from it, right? And it's like,
no, I mean, you can, but that's a
good thing
bad
now
plan.
is right. Yeah, there's not a lot of longevity in that.
Plan.
People do that.
But-
I mean,
but-
but some people choose to just ride it out, and you know, I don't know. It's not my plan, but
I don't know all the details, but like my wife's uncle has had that part of his similar things in his life for 30 some years, right? Where it's like, if you stay up on it, he's in his 80s, right? So it's like,
yeah,
you have to stay up on it, and you'll have a very high quality of life, right? So
probably
go get your tests. Make sure, don't ignore it. The modern medicine can do a lot of things. So we're cheering for you, Matt. We're begging you. Don't ignore it. We want ChampionBrick Racing to be one of those big guys, right? I think
a lot of people do.
Yeah, we want you to keep doing what you're doing because you're building a family, and a good family makes a great man even better, right? So we want that to keep going. So don't ignore it. Keep on it. Keep getting healthier as every day goes, right?
Yeah. Let's hope that health insurance starts paying for, I don't know, for scans earlier. I don't know.
The one thing like my one of my best friend's fathers passed away too young because he never went and got a colonoscopy, and if he would have got one, probably still be here talking. And I'm like, screw it, I'm just going. I was a little early. I think I was like 44 or something like that, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go. And I couldn't believe it. I have my insurance don't pay for shit, and it only cost me like, I don't know, it was $800 or $700.
Wow, I wish I would have known that.
Yeah, that's worth it.
Yeah, I picked my company's insurance policy, and I think it's as good of a one as we can get, and they don't cover it till you're 45. I got diagnosed at just over 40, but because of that, my sister was then able to go and get one, and it's covered even though she was 38 because now she's got a family history or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know why we're not all just getting like a CT scan once a year.
I'm with you, but I know that it's just like some of the things, people are like, oh, it's awful, this and that. And I still hear it. People are like, oh, drinking all this stuff. No, my experience was not awful at all. Yeah. You drink some stuff, get cleared out. Big deal. I was like, I don't know if anybody else has never had a bad toilet day or not, but it was not bad at all. And then you go in, they knock you out. You don't even know what happens. It's like, go do it. It's nothing. Just to either make sure you're going to have a longer life if you go, because you're either going to find something, they're going to fix it, or you're going to find nothing and you can go on, So I'd encourage everybody to not ignore that and to do what's right, but.
The preparation under normal circumstances, I think, wouldn't be that bad. I had to do it in duress. It was.
You got a little different scenario.
We're not telling that story.
That's a little. That couldn't have been good for you. No.
Oh man. Rapid response team got called. I lost a lot of blood that night.
Oh yikes! Oh, not good.
Whatever. Back to the team.
No, but Matt, thanks for sharing that with us. I didn't want to bring it up, but we asked you before just if we could talk about it a little bit because this has encouraged other people to go get checked. This encourages people not to ignore things, and we want everybody to have the longest, healthiest life possible. And it's important to not ignore these things. So thank you for sharing your story on that. And
no problem.
Keep us up to date on what you're going through with that. But to go back to the good times, Romaniacs, and being there, so this last version when you and Tobin went over there, now, what bikes were you riding? Did you fly your own equipment over, or were you renting, and did you bring some stuff, or how did all that go?
So virtually nobody brings their own bike from, let's call it, overseas.
Okay.
Like if you're from Europe, if you live anywhere, if you live on the European continent,
yep,
there's companies that will transport your bike to that race. You fly there, you ride your own bike. Like that exists. It's very similar. If you're from the UK or Germany or whatever, like getting your bike, you can either drive it there yourself, you can ride with your buddies, or you can send it with all sorts of different support companies that'll bring it. They'll do your full race support, but you send your bike a week ahead of time, it'll be there. But when you're coming from overseas, whether it's Australia or Reunion Island off the coast of Madagascar, South America, United States, Canada, like you rent a bike, but that all exists. So you're able to, whatever you have, you're guaranteed to be able to rent the exact same engine and chassis that you have. So at that point, if you're a stock bike guy, like that's one of the downsides of having highly customized bikes is it makes that international racing more complicated when you want to take it seriously because you want to ride your bike, and it's completely possible to do that. It's not your bike, but we basically, I mean, we rode we both were on 2024 KTM 300 EXCs, which XTWs in Europe, they're just called EXCs. There's some slight differences with like the on-off button or whatever, but it's the exact same bike. So
did you guys did you bring anything for parts to try to give that home feel, or what all did you guys bring?
Really everything that gives it the home feel, which was, I mean, we took plastics just because, or excuse me, graphics. Just bikes had to look proper, but suspension, foot pegs, levers, not shift levers, but we run, we run ARC Memlon, like front levers, handlebars. Just it really wasn't that much. And a lot of the small customizations, they'll provide them for you. So it's worth it to just, one grip or seat covers. We run those at home when we wanted them. They're there and they support our team. So we just took our seats from our rental company over and they put them on, and I mean, we were probably like, I don't know, 90% full ChampionBrick race bike build on both of our bikes in Romania, but we took our suspension on the airplane. In the past, I was able to ship it because it would have been maybe $250 each direction, but you lose control of your suspension for months on end. But we just took them as an extra bag, and it was, I don't know, $100 each way. But to be on your own A-kit suspension too, because like what we run, it's not just reval stuff. It's really good. And but no, the bikes were dialed like.
The rental guys they had to love you though, because you're taking all their parts off and they get to go back on in the exact same condition as when you got there, right? So they probably
but those the mechanics, they don't want to do all that. They like it, but they don't like it.
Oh, okay.
They're kind of 50-50 on it.
All right. Okay. All right.
But they're used to that. I mean, it's incredible how it's normal for them to just, here's my ECU, here's my head. I want my Recluse slave cylinder. I want this Recluse clutch pad. It doesn't, you just give them a box of parts. They'll put them all on there. They're not, oh no, you can't run this tune. Oh no, that head's too much compressed. If you want it on the bike, it's going on the bike. And they won't even let you put it on yourselves. They do it all for you. It's pretty cool.
Did you F with Tobin at all? And when you were looking for bikes, be like, hey, we found a 250 two-stroke CR that we could get with a 19-inch wheel on the back. You want to run that? Or
no, it actually, I thought I had reserved two 0-hour bikes. And Alfred, the owner of FM Racing, I think found out about my health stuff, or maybe I told him, but he must have assumed that I was like not going to do it still. Or he made an assumption, but there was also supply chain issues just across KTM worldwide in general in this last year. So he told me he ordered, I don't know, 14 or 22 or whatever 2025 EXC 300s, and he only got 4. So we ended up riding, I think when Tobin picked up his bike, it had 60 hours on it. Mine was like an 85-hour bike, but they were all right,
Yeah.
But you can typically buy, you can rent a new one or a used one. There's obviously it might be €1,000 more or €800 more to be on a brand new one versus a year-old model. But I don't know, $800, $1,000, and you don't have to worry about, I don't know.
Yeah.
The front brakes going, it's just everything. A new bike versus, because if these rental bikes have 60, 70 hours on them, that means
there's 67 hours of rental bike.
Some Russian guy tried to make it to the top of Sea to Sky on that thing. Like, he didn't care,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I hear you there. Wow. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, to be able to give it that home feel, to have a rental bike and still feel like home, that's pretty cool. How long were you guys in country when you went over there?
I went for what I think is the shortest period of time that you can properly do that race in. Okay. And I always leave on a Wednesday, which puts you there on Thursday afternoon at 1:30 p.m. local time. Friday is just like getting some sleep, recovering, like going to the store, buying water, walking around, eating some food. Saturday at noon, the paddock opens. You start to build your bike. Get the bikes ready, just kind of, again, rest. Sunday, the more paddock stuff, and there's a practice course that you can ride. But I have a really good friend over there that is a local, and we typically will go on Sunday and not ride like the little practice loop. We'll go up and actually get up in the mountains and do a good tour.
Cool.
But then right away on Monday is the Parade of Nations. I don't know if you saw any of that, but that's just like the big parade through the streets. But that's Saturday, but you're also watching then the prologue course being built this whole time. So that kind of like occupies your mind. You're watching just like these huge obstacles and there's changes being made. And Tuesday's prologue, all day deal, you know. Right. Wednesday is first day. Wednesday off-road, Thursday off-road, Friday off-road, Saturday off-road. Saturday night's a party that goes until like 6 a.m. Sunday morning.
Jeez.
So come 6 a.m. Monday morning, you're at the airport getting on an airplane in Seaview flying home, and that's what I did. But we sent Tobin over on July 5th to train for, I don't remember the exact time frame, but he went over early enough to train for maybe 10 days to 2 weeks before Dit Rocks, which is a different hard enduro that happens prior to Romaniacs, because I really wanted to give him a good chance to make a good result in silver class this year, which I kind of got that inspiration from Nick Farringer doing that back in, not the day, but back in 2022 or 2021 or whatever. And man, we came close, but Stark Varg decided to run Eddie Carlson in silver class, and that kind of put us in fourth, but that
dang,
not an excuse, but that did happen.
Yeah, wow, that's still
so
really
we damn near did the goal. Like we got as close as you could. So.
Awesome, dang, what an experience. So
but when you take fourth at RedBull Romaniacs in any class, it's like cutting the tree down in the woods with no one around. It's like it's racing. It's amazing. Like, one step off the podium, and it's like it never even happened.
Yeah, it does.
But it did.
Yeah, and Tobin's just a kid, and he might have more swings at that. That's pretty cool. What an experience for Tobin though, to go there for 3 weeks and just ride around and experience that. That's awesome. Thank you for helping him with that. That's amazing.
And I'd like to say right now in the middle of this, like, thanks Lee Smith and Windsight Development, because that is, I mean, it's Lee and Len, they're brothers, but they stepped up, and without them, that would have never happened. And that was one of the most special experiences I've had, was being able to, I guess, to help be a part of that opportunity to just have Tobin be there, and to have him be there and to do it as a team and whatnot, like to finally go back with this silver rider that I talked about in 2023 when I was all mad about. You know, we did it, and it was we both finished, and it was good.
That's cool. Wow, dang it. Yeah, that keeps you warm for a lot of days, right? That's pretty cool. That's awesome. So that event, what is there for like spectators? Is there a lot of spectators for that event?
There's really, the prologue spectating is top notch. That day is it's the vibe. I mean, it's I don't know how many, 10,000. I mean, it's that the vibe on the prologue day is top notch. When it comes to mass spectators spectating that format, not that great, to be perfectly honest. There's tour guide services and whatnot, but I don't think that it's feasible. You'd be lucky. You spend your whole day going to see your rider come through one spot, maybe two, probably one, but that's
hard.
Well, they're 180. They're 180 or 220 kilometer loops, unique each day, but like we have a service point halfway through the day or 2/3 of the way through the day. And it's 180K. Let's say that's, I don't know, 95 miles, 105 miles. I don't know, whatever.
Wow.
But sometimes, because they publish all of this, but they'll say that the service teams might be a 4-hour drive time by car for the team to make it to the service point that might only be 30 miles as the crow flies, but to get there takes 4.5 hours. So Yeah, it's just that you don't get to zoom around in your Duramax in Romania. Like, or so no, I think I would be lying to say that it is a good race for spectating your loved one at. But my wife has been to 2 of them, but that's never been a part of the day. It was like really getting out there and getting in the forest and watching. It's just it's not.
But that's what sounds like. That's what the prologue's for, though, right?
Yeah,
you can get a lot just from that. So that's cool.
They always say sea to sky is the one to take your wife to.
Okay.
I have a cooler wife though, so she's, she'll go to Romania with me.
Awesome. All right. That's a good wife.
Sea to sky looks really cool from all the videos and pictures I've seen in the past. It looks like a blast.
What country's that in?
Turkey.
Okay.
It's right on the Black Sea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But I hear it's very economical, but it's challenging for the support teams because I guess the borders aren't very friendly in and out of Turkey. So that the teams that come to support you, it's logistically challenging for them. But yeah, it's definitely on my list of things to do. If I could fit it into everything.
I like it. Gotta have those dots on those maps, right? Yeah, cool. Very cool. Couple other quick little things, and then we got to see Matt. I don't know if you've listened, but we have this segment where sometimes there's a little irritant that you might have, something might bother you. I referenced earlier, but we're gonna have to see if you got anything caught in your chin. That's in a little bit here, But when you're thinking back through your year of racing, was there obviously Romania? That's a whole nother thing. Europe, obviously, we'll take that out of the play. But was there any events that you were at this year that, you thought really amped up their game this year, or, caught you off guard on how epic they were, or something that comes to mind that was a highlight for your summer?
I think that the indoor endurocross in Waterloo, Iowa is epic.
All right.
That is
always
really fun.
A highlight of my year. Other than that, I didn't really do anything new or different.
Okay.
So maybe I'll just tell you the story of what I would consider my best day, because like you said, I've ridden a lot, I've raced a lot, I've did a lot of stuff this year.
Yeah, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
But in Romania, we went up practice riding, and I got to see my friend from back in the day, Nicu Vizu. He's this big, tall dude, 6'6", 6'8", I don't know.
Yeah.
I met him 2 years ago because a friend of a friend told me he's the guy to go practice ride with the day before the race. And first time I met him, I was just so scared, and he sounded scary. And it was just, I was just like, should I even be going up in the mountains with this guy? And you could just tell I was scared. And finally he looked at me and he's like, it is okay. We ride together. We will come back from mountain together. It will be okay. Like, he still sounded scary, but I somehow ended up befriending this guy, and we've stayed in touch through WhatsApp for the last 2 years, and I was supposed to go back in 2024, but I got to be there this year with a bunch of my friends, Nick Wortham and a bunch of Americans, and I set up a practice ride day on the Sunday before Romaniacs. Tobin was there. It was like all of us, and we went on this epic ride through the Carpathians above Sibiu. And I like to drink beer.
Right.
People I were with could have taken it or leaving it, but we're on this practice ride on this beautiful day. It's Sunday. The next day is just like Monday parade day. So who cares? And Niku's like, we're up at the top of this beautiful mountain looking out, and Niku looks over at me. He's like, do you want to drink a beer? I'm like, yes, I would like to drink a beer. We just start dropping down the mountain. Romaniacs, it's big downhills. You can do 3,000, 4,000 foot of vert in 30 minutes or whatever.
That's
we're just
crazy.
Down. All of a sudden we drop out, and we're in this, I don't even know what you call it in Romania, a villa or hotel or whatever, but just this little beautiful hotel with a pool in the back and just super fancy but super unassuming. And we just park all our 300 two-strokes across the front. We sit down and Niku's talking Romaniacs. The next thing you know, we're all sitting there drinking, Tyraninas, because Niku doesn't just have one, everybody else had one beer. And like, Niku's like, no, we don't just have one beer. We have 2 beers. And fair enough, we drink 2 beers, go back up in the mountains. And all of a sudden Niku's just sat, he thought he was riding good before live. Should have seen him after, but we ended up later that afternoon just sitting up on the top of the mountain, like looking over Seaview and all this stuff. And it was such a surreal experience to be back in those mountains with like some of my friends and whatnot, where I would say of this whole year, like the moment I'll never forget is that day with Niku after we went and drank 2 beers at the place in the mountains, went back to the top of the mountain, and we all just sat there looking at, a sight that we've never seen before and may never see again other than Niku. And like,
oh man,
that's
awesome.
what I'll remember. And I guess I'll remember being there with Lennon Lee and Tobin and my wife at the finish line of RedBull Romaniacs is like a 4-day no time bar, real finisher.
Awesome.
And I called my German mechanics and they know I'm no longer like 3-day guy, like real finisher. So
real finisher.
Yeah, like everything else was cool, but feels good to get that one crossed off the list. I've never done it, but I feel like it's like crossing off Baja 1000 Ironman. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like cool. He had this axe to grind, like it felt really good the first time getting the 3-day finisher and the finisher medal, but doing like a full 4 days and feeling pretty comfortable across it. Like it felt like I finally did what I've been trying to do for the culmination of this whole thing.
That's amazing.
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an awesome experience.
And my 8-year-old daughter was there.
Oh, sweet. Hell yeah.
So
cool.
my daughter Maddie got to see Romania and all that stuff.
Oh,
and
wow.
Nick Wortham got engaged. It was just an epic, another epic. Romania. As much as you wanted me to figure out something else, Romania.
No, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah, I don't know how you could beat having a couple beers and then hopping back up to the top of the mountain. That sounds pretty epic.
Yeah.
The Europeans, they are a little different. When we had the Frenchies here, they were riding in the sand, and then they had decided to have a couple beers, and then they just went back out riding. And I'm like, no, like now I'm in beer mode. Like I don't go ride, I go ride and then just beer. Like there's no. So I
were
totally
they smoking? Were they smoking the whole time too?
No, they weren't.
The Frenchies smokers.
Vincent does.
I mean,
know.
Cigarettes.
There's a few of them that smoke over there, but yeah, I know it's just different. They just have a different way of life. But man, thanks for
the Europeans love smoking cigarettes, from what I can tell.
Yeah, they haven't got the warnings. I don't think they have lawyers in Europe. That's probably why. So that's something.
There's no tort law. That's why. Yeah, that's why there's better. They do all these races. That's because of the tort law. The tort law that exists in the U.S. I mean, I think that's the biggest. It's your own fault. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you are. If you hurt yourself, it's your own fault.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Nope, that makes sense. All right, well, Luke, you want to hit it?
Rolling smooth and bam, it hits. Something in your sprocket throwing fits. A pebble, a problem, some petty pain. Time to sound off what's caught in your chain.
Woo! All right, so this is something that might be a little minor annoyance. And man, here we are coming up to Thanksgiving, and mine is damn sickness. Oh, I got 2 little kids. I got a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old. I don't know what it is, but we just can't avoid effing sickness. In the last week, just like somebody is throwing up, shitting, headache, screaming, doctor, I'm enough. Like, could we just be freaking healthy and have it be late fall? It's like impossible. It's so annoying. I hate it. I'm guilty. I'm always sick too. I'm a sickly person. So it just bothers me. It's just like, could just one person get sick and not everybody in my damn family have the same thing over a delayed response? It's like, I get sick, one kid gets sick, then my wife gets sick, then the other kid gets sick. It's like, man, it's like this loop. It's so freaking annoying. So that's my caught in my chain. I'm done with it. But Luke, you got anything?
Nope, don't have anything this week. My track's still all greased up and quiet, so I'm
nice. Okay, good. Matt, have you heard this before? Have you kind of get the gist of the caught in your chain? Yeah.
Has Luke ever had a caught in his chain moment?
Oh, he's had them,
like
but then
a passionate one.
Yeah, he has them, and then he erases them. He edits them out because he's worried about offending somebody.
No, that was only one time because I ended up knowing the person I was ranting about over the phone. So I figured I better.
And if I was Logan, I'd be worried about like the mailman never bringing me something ever again.
There's that risk.
We just need him to reseed part of his lawn, Matt, and we got all kinds of material. I guarantee it.
But it could be better for everyone if they just threw them at the end of the driveway too.
That's true.
Yeah.
More efficient for them, less issues for them, less issues for me.
Yep. Matt, you got anything caught in your chain? You got anything that's bothering you?
I got two simple ones.
Okay, all right, let's hear it.
You know, maybe they're nothing unique or whatever, but
no, that's fine.
I have a relatively late model diesel pickup truck.
Okay, yep.
But it seems like everyone who's got one that was built before 2016, they want to show me that theirs makes smoke.
yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
So my wife has a similar truck, and we ended up putting pink stickers like on the Chevrolet across the back to like notify these dudes like, hey, this is just my wife taking my daughter to school in the morning, and these dudes are just rolling coal on her all the time, and it's just like, hey, it's got pink on the back, like it's just my wife driving to school, like you know you have a diesel pickup truck.
Oh
like,
my god, yeah, that's annoying.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, we know a couple.
I
also
of those got a new phone this week.
Oh boy,
how about passwords and getting new phones? And you'd think they would just sync and it could all be the same, and you get a new phone and like you spend how many days just like forgot my password, blah, you know, and then it doesn't work on your computer anymore. So yeah, like it's 2025. I talked to Logan on the phone today. The call dropped in metropolitan Milwaukee. So like,
what's going on?
We can still do better, I believe.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Technology. That's a whole sore subject for me. Those are great, Matt. I love that. Yeah. No. So, doesn't it feel good just to get off your chest?
Yeah.
Right. Just kind of let people know. No. Tom, you got anything?
This week it's the Facebook comments. It's been if you're really, really dumb, just stay off Facebook and don't comment. And if you can't, like they say, if you don't know who the idiot in the room is when you walk in, there's a good chance it's you. You can't do anything on Facebook without some idiot ruining all the fun. Like I posted that reel just for fun, making fun of myself for hitting a tree. And I've got a bunch of random people trying to tell me that I'm riding above my head and I need to improve my technique and I don't know what I'm doing and I'm a rookie. And I'm like, and then you respond sarcastically and they still don't get it. It's like these people are just so damn dense.
Oh my God. What is it about people that have to just rag on you? I don't get it. Is that
it's just how the internet works.
Oh man.
I don't know why or what the deal is with people nowadays, but it's crazy.
I think it gives everyone an outlet to entertain themselves in whatever way. And you get a lot of, especially on Facebook, it just gets sideways quickly.
Tom,
I delete comments all the time. It's just like, why am I?
Yeah,
it's just gonna go sideways.
I'm happy. Like it really doesn't drive me that nuts. I like to laugh at them, but it's just it's scary that people are that dumb and don't realize they're that dumb. That's what makes you nervous.
Yeah. No, I feel like you're never gonna have that low resting heart rate like you've always wanted just because of Facebook, right? Like, I just don't know if you're ever able to calm down enough because of the comments.
I stay off it most of the time now, but I got to check in here and there and get a
Got to see when the races. Got to see what races are coming up, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
Matt, I'm on a couple of group messages with Logan, and every now and then he'll screenshot something like that and send it to us, and I'll be like, I need 5. I gotta read through all these, and it's so damn funny. Oh my gosh. Oh. Good stuff.
I'm interested. I would love to I don't know where these Hillclimb. Whenever I listen to your podcast and I hear like all of that, I don't want to call it drama, but just like the politicking and all of that. And like,
right.
I always hear about these things going on Facebook, and I wish you'd post links to some of that stuff because it looks super entertaining.
It's entertaining.
It's entertaining. Yes. Yeah.
A good portion of the dumb people on Facebook we're talking about probably race Hillclimb.
Yeah. Yes.
Unfortunately.
High probability of that. All right. Well, before we get canceled again, Matt, thank you. Number one, it's been so fun to follow along on Instagram, following your team, following yourself. And I just love your aura, man. Like just everything that you project, the people that you're surrounding yourself from, whether it's Angel with the Brap Life podcast, and you folded her in and are helping her. And, in bikes, like what we love in Hillclimb is like, we don't want you at your worst. We want you at your best, and we want to help everybody be their best, and we'll let the clock settle it out. And in hard enduro, you've just embodied that as well. And listening to Matt Musgrove and talk about you guys and talking with Tobin and just everything. And it's people like yourself that make this great, right? I mean, it's the passion that you extrude, that people grasp onto and go to new levels. That's because of you. That's because of people like yourself. Like when you had that come to Jesus moment coming back from Romaniacs and you wanted to give that to other people, just thank you, dude. Like it's not free. It's not cheap. It's not easy. All these things have costs to them, whether it's time, money, energy, but you're putting it all out. I hope you get 1,000 times back what you've ever expected from this. And you just don't know all the people's lives that you've changed. For all we know, your buddy Nico, his favorite day, I guarantee, was when you guys were on that mountain and he was riding with the crazy Americans and got to go up, and you get to have that love, that share. It's just so awesome. But thanks for coming on here with us and letting us have a little moment with you and get a little summary from ChampionBrick Racing from the summer and killing it, taking the freaking dub in the 40 plus. Yes, let's go. I hope that you're even healthier next year and you can come back and bring it again. But if there's ever anything that we can do for you, Matt, and your team, let us know. But just thank you for everything that you've done for motorcycles, your friends, and your sport in general. Just been awesome to watch.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And I mean, thanks for what you guys are doing. I think that it's another really good podcast, and it's more than just that, but I appreciate you bringing me on here. I appreciate all of the kind words. And I do think it's already brought back more, not more than I've put in, but I love it. I love helping people. Everybody, if I'm at a race and you need something, if you need help, you come to ChampionBrick Paddock and we're going to help you. And that's what makes me happy. I love it.
Hey, this year,
there's nothing like this sport. I know hill climbing's different. It's different, but it's the same. But man, is it something else to be in these random fields across the country with these people that you share so much in common with.
Sure.
I know. It's so great.
It filters out the D-bags.
I know it. I love it. It's awesome. Yeah. No.
You have so much in common just by being at that place already that it's like, how do you not want to just help everybody?
Right. Yeah. You can't buy a manual transmission vehicle anymore, but we still got clutch on the left, twist throttle on the right. Life's good for us, right?
Yeah. And in Romania, every single car is still 6-speed.
Oh, I love it. Hell yeah. No, it's the best. All right. Well,
thanks
boys,
again.
Let's call her a night, but keep at it, Matt. Keep us in the loop and we'll keep in touch.
Thanks for having me.
Come on, my mama told me one day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to sit where shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, cause they'll get you through this so-called life they call you.